can happen in just 1 second. Winning goal, winning save, perfect tackle, clever flick, good call from the ref, great shout from the line. The county title, after 30 years, a long wait over, in just 1 second. It's a game of seconds. Glorious seconds. Genius in split seconds. They're great players. Just 1 second. The difference between a good decision and a bad one. A lost temper, frustrated shout, that gut reaction. We've all done it, and we're never proud. But we can do better. We all can. Sideline, dressing room, meeting room, all places of passion where split-second decisions are made. Good ones, bad ones, some days not so calm ones. It's instinct, we know, because we love it. We just don't think. But we have to. Of others, of our players, of our game. Think before we act.
Take a second, catch your breath. Collect yourself, don't regret. Take a second to make the right call for ladies Gaelic football.
Good afternoon, and you're very welcome here to Lanier, outside Dunleer in County Louth for this afternoon's Intermediate Football Championship. Round 1 encounter of the All-Ireland Series. Wicklow taking on Tyrone. The sun beaming down here on the County Louth venue. Neutral venue for this afternoon's Intermediate encounter as both these sides begin their All-Ireland Series after the provincial disappointments. None of them, unfortunately, gaining any silverware on the provincial front, but they will be hoping to put that right this afternoon and get back to winning ways after losing out Tyrone in the Ulster final to Antrim, Wicklow losing out in their group stages. So they will be hoping to bounce back, but it is a big ask of the Wicklow girls. Junior champions 2 years ago, but have struggled since to make an impact into intermediate. Just 6 of the starting 15 this afternoon began that All-Ireland junior final, or were involved that day in the junior All-Ireland final. So a big turnaround for them. But Tyrone too are very much in the rebuilding surface as well on the intermediate front. Former senior championship team, of course, down now at intermediate level, hoping to make an impact, and they will begin this afternoon as favourites. Joining me on commentary will be Niamh Kinlan from Monaghan. She will get a little word now in a moment, but I'll run through the two teams, beginning with Tyrone. In goals is Sinead McVeigh. Full back line of Maeve Corrigan, Kiva McGee and Emer Quinn. Half back line Jane Lyons, Caitlin Campbell and Emma Hegarty. The midfield pairing then is Emma Jane Gervin and Aoibhinn McHugh, the team captain, wearing number 9. At number 10, Aoife Horisk, Gráinne Rafferty and Sasha Bourne. And the full forward line of Maria Canavan, and one change, 17 coming in for 14. Joanne Barrett from Drumra will replace Niamh Hughes on the square, and Aoife McGahan makes up the starting 15 that Sean O'Kane has sent out for this round 1 encounter. While Wicklow in goals is Ellen Griffin, full backline Sarah Evans, Sarah Jane Winders the team captain, and a replacement at number 4 comes in number 17 Megan Healy. The half back line of Niamh Kenny, Lucy Dunn and Jackie Bourne. Midfield pairing is Amy Maher and Aoife Gorman. And the half forward line then wearing number 23 replacing number 10, so Ruby Keogh comes in at number 10 position wearing the 23. Niamh Cullen at centre half forward, and also a change in the other half forward line. Number 25 starts, which is Lacey Jane Shannon in place of Yasmin Dag. And the full forward line, Sarah Delahunty, Maria Keeley and Helena Dowling. Our referee this afternoon, he told me he lives just about 15 minutes away from here, from County Live, is Paul Burke. As I say, Niamh, conditions absolutely perfect. It's roasting in here, and there's going to be roasting out there for them players as well.
Absolutely, Alan. Yeah, perfect conditions, and obviously we've had a very unusual 2 weeks here in Ireland, have such unbelievable weather, and it's continuing into Sunday's game. So it is going to be tough. I think we're led to believe there's water breaks today at midway through each half, and that's badly needed because the players need to get water on.
They do indeed. I suppose Tyrone will start hot favourites here. They've came down from senior. They're playing Division 2 football. Wicklow Division 4, but we've seen in the Ulster final Antrim were a Division 4 team at the beginning of the year. Okay, they were promoted into Division 3, but they turned over Tyrone in the final, but in the Ulster final, but I think Antrim are probably a level ahead of where Wicklow are.
Yeah, probably so, and it's ironic too, Alan, you just mentioned the 21 Junior All-Ireland champions. They actually beat Antrim in that final and beat them convincingly that day, but you can see how Antrim have turned their last 2 years around and have really shown and really have a good push on this year, and they've done that by beating Tyrone, which was a surprise in that Ulster final. Maybe Tyrone took it a wee bit were we complacent going into it, but certainly Tyrone will be hurting after that, losing their Ulster Championship title. They'll be hurting, and you'd feel a big push from them today. But Wicklow, as you said, they're going through transition. 6 players, is only 6 remaining from that team in 21, but they're doing serious work, Alan. I was just looking, like they're on the 14 team, won the bronze title yesterday. First time they've won an underage title since 1991. So you can really feel the buzz. I even seen on their social media pages last night. There was like a parade of them coming home. So it's a massive deal for them to get that result. They're doing big work on the 15, on the 16 development squads. The minor team, and actually the player that's coming in, the late change there, Lacey Jane Shannon, was a big name with the minors, who got to the B Leinster title this year. Leinster final, lost out by 4 points just to Dublin. So you can just see there was a lot of work being done, and they're a team to reckon with, and they're trying to build on what they achieved in 21 and trying to build and stay. Obviously their first protocol will be stay in intermediate football.
It is. It's a big step up. I suppose we have seen that previous years where teams have won a junior All-Ireland. They have struggled at intermediate level. At least Wicklow, I suppose they'll try to take what Antrim have done this year, and still coming into the intermediate championship, although they had a disappointing Leinster campaign, they'll be looking to hit the ground running in this group stages. It's a tough group. I think Clare and Offaly are also in the group with these here, so I think they beat Offaly in the Leinster Championship, they were telling me before the game, so they'll look at that game. But they'll look at this game here. People probably have them wrote off coming into it, so they'll try to be I suppose stay in the game as long as they can is the important thing, not to fall too far behind at the start.
Absolutely, and that's what an underdog has to do in these kind of games, Alan. They have to be try and be competitive and be competitive as long as they can, and that's what they'll. I'm sure they've set their stall. They're not coming out here to get a hockey in. And as you said, a lot of people expect Tyrone to win this with the rise. And you can see the difference in the Division 2 team versus Division 4 team. But at the same time, you can never write any game off. And I mean, if the underdog, as we said, Tyrone go in complacent into this game, which I don't think they will. They won't get caught a second time, I don't feel. But Wicklow will want to just keep this game. Maybe use each water break now as a sort of a stopping point to go, let's go again. So they'll use the first 15 minutes to try and keep it in touching distance of Tyrone.
Two names jump out at me, Sarah Delahunty and Maria Keeley. When you have them on the field, if they get the ball into them, they will give the Tyrone defence plenty to think about.
Absolutely, and they've been the go-to players for the last number of years and very experienced. And obviously their captain too, Sarah Jane Winders. I mean, she has been phenomenal for Wicklow. When you think of Wicklow football, you probably outside Jackie Kinch, Sarah Jane Winders is the next name pops into your head. So she, has been a real stalwart in the full back line there, and she's not slow to come up the field if she wants to drag her team forward. So definitely have some great players in that side. And as I said, the young players coming in, that they're trying to build on that too. So that's important.
Well, as we look out, Wicklow will defend the dressing room end here of Lanier. So Tyrone will be shooting into that end. As we look out from right to left, they will be shooting. So the referee, Paul Burke, gets this one underway. And it's flicked down here into the waiting arms there of Amy Maher. And Maher coming forward for Wicklow. And coming from wing half back then is Niamh Kenny. But she has been dispossessed there. And Tyrone turned that one over. And they'll be looking for a bright start. Will Tyrone has drove forward there from Niamh Cullen in looking for the full forward. And the full forward wearing the number 12 lays it off, and an opportunity here, and that's the opening score. A very good score indeed from Maria Canavan. And in there is Sasha Bourne operating at full forward for Tyrone. And Maria Canavan makes no mistake with the opening score, Niamh.
Yeah, that's right, and we've seen the exact same in the first 30 seconds against Antrim in the Ulster final. Maria Canavan, and she's that left foot obviously has serious pedigree, and you know what I mean, she's really, when she gets into those positions, she's not going to miss. So a super start for Tyrone.
Here come Wicklow, who were turned over pretty easy, and they've seen what Tyrone can do to them, and we've seen that change in there. Operating in the cornerback position is Joanne Barrett, so a few changes on the Tyrone positional end of matters, but it's Wicklow trying to respond to that, and the midfielder again, Amy Maher, trying to drive forward, and right on the nose of the referee, he spotted the little tug on Maher, and an opportunity already here for Marie Keeley to equalise for Wicklow. And looking at the flags, possibly a little breeze maybe facing into the face of Keeley as she hits this, but it's really not much of a breeze you would feel that will have any effect, and it has no effect on Keeley. It's a well struck free, and the sides are level, Niamh.
Yeah, that's a super score, and I mean, you can see now Tyrone are going to have to be really careful, because if they do any fouling in around that arc or anywhere in that distance, Maria Keeley's not going to make any mistakes. So a good start for it's been tit for tat so far, so a good start for Wicklow as well.
Interesting, the kick-outs tried to go short there, but she done very well, did Aoibhinn McHugh, to win that one, because it looked like she was second best to that one, but she done well to win it. And Tyrone working their way out of defence here with Emma Hegarty, it was, apologies, over on the far side, and she's gone out over the far sideline, so it's going to be a sideline ball to Wicklow. And it's the towering midfielder Aoife Gorman that is going to take it just outside the 45 metre line. I suppose when it's a neutral venue, you don't expect too many to make the trip from either county here, Niamh.
Yeah, it's a long spin, Alan. It's a long spin for you too. It's only over the road for me, so I'm very close, luckily enough. But yeah, it seems like the crowd is small. The day is lovely, but unfortunately it's a two travelling team, so there's not a small crowd here in front of us.
So Tyrone getting the bodies back into defence. Wicklow comfortably passing the ball through, and the girl that Niamh mentioned earlier, Sarah Jane Winders, but there's Maher again, and Winders is on to this one, and it opens up for her. She might go for a goal here, does Winders, and she does. The full back gets forward and finishes to the roof of the net, giving the goalkeeper Sinead McVeigh no chance. Good link up play between Maher and the girl you had mentioned before, throw-in, Winders.
Yeah, absolutely, and she's clearly not playing in the full back position, Alan. She's way up the field here, but you can see Wicklow are pushing up on the Tyrone kick-outs and causing them a little bit of trouble. They turned over that last kick-out, and they developed the play, and that goal came from that. But you can see as you just speak there, Sarah Jane Winders, after she scored the goal, she sprinted back to close that area in front of the Wicklow full back line as well. So she's going to cover every inch of the ground as she starts off here.
It's the first day of the All-Ireland Series in the Ladies' Championship. And you know what, Niamh? We mightn't see a better goal.
No, absolutely not, Alan. That was top class. And I mean, it's what you want, getting a ball on the run, bursting through. No team can defend against that kind of play.
Here come Tyrone trying to respond, and their team captain McHugh will try to lead by example, and she's driving forward here, plays the ball in, looking again for Bourne, lets it bounce in front of her. There's 2 Wicklow players around her immediately, and the referee says that she's been crowded out by the 2 of them, and illegally so it's a free in. She's a good target, as Sasha Bourne. They've hit her twice and she's won both balls in there.
Yeah, she really is, and she's she's very fast, and I mean that Sarah Jane Winters is trying to cover that space in front, but 2v1 and 2 players around her, it was always going to be a forwards free, I suppose, and it's a free now and a chance for Maria Canavan even.
With that left foot, the trusty left foot, and she makes no mistake with it either, does Canavan, and pops it over the bar to reduce the deficit back again. So Canavan with her second point of the day, 2 points to 1. I'm just looking to see where is Winters playing. I'm trying to spot her now. Oh, she's going the far side. I'm not sure who's picking her up or who she's meant to be picking up either.
It's
at
hard.
The moment.
Yeah, it seems to be, but she just seems to be
It's
playing that sort of sweeper role. Yeah, but she's and you can see already the danger she's causing. So I mean, Tyrone are going to have to look at that and get someone to pick her up.
Ball into the corner, but it's well read there by the Tyrone defence, and Joanne Barrett gives it back to her goalkeeper. Now coming out is the cornerback Maeve Corrigan. Flicks it over the top there of the Wicklow player. Quick offload now to McHugh. McHugh coming driving forward yet again. Will she try to hit Bourne? But it's not going to be open on this occasion because Winters is just sitting in that pocket in front of Bourne. But it's a low delivery in there looking for Canavan. Uses her skill to just soccer style it away from the danger. Now goes to pick it up. Plays it inside. And a chance here to come forward. The wing half forward, Aoife Horisk. Horisk is going to have a go. It's going to drop short. No, it's not. It's over the bar. Fine score from Aoife Horisk. And a good response from Tyrone. 2 in a row since the goal, Niamh.
Yeah, it definitely was, and that was a really good score by Aoife Horisk. I mean, she had a lot of work to do on her own. She weaved in and out, and it was, she was under pressure taking the shot, and it was a really good score. And it was, I suppose for a second I thought it was going to need a dip under the bar, but a really good score. And as you said, there's a good reply from the goal for Tyrone, 2 scores in a row.
Try to see who the Tyrone player is that's free. If Winters is free, looks like it could well be the number 4, is it?
Yeah,
Emer Quinn. Yeah, Emer Quinn seems to be the free player, and that's a good catch, but the referee says that there was a nudge on the back before it, and McHugh takes it quickly, finds Canavan in space and is low in again, looking for the run, but there's too much on that, and that will go down as the first wide in the game. Missed opportunity because Tyrone had the chance there, and there's plenty of room for Canavan to even carry it on with herself if she wanted to.
Yeah, I think it was a little bit hasty the way she just kicked that, and I think probably whatever little bit of wind is going, Alan, I think it is going towards Tyrone this first half, albeit very slight, but I think it is in Tyrone's favour.
Winters is beaten to that one by Horisk again. Inside, chance here for Grania Rafferty. Rafferty's effort though, it's the second wide for Tyrone, out and wide of the target from Rafferty. The chance has gone for Tyrone to level it up. Wicklow with that 1-1 to 3-point advantage. Wonderful goal from their full back, although she's not operating at full back. She's playing as an extra kind of a sweeper. And the kick out to this side this time, and it's picked up here by Niamh Kenny. Kenny coming forward here, but tracking back on her is Caitlin Campbell, but she manages to get it away in time just to Ruby Keogh, but Keogh was beaten to it there by Joanne Barrett, who has started brightly for Tyrone. Plays it inside now, and a chance for Maeve Corrigan with a little bit of space. Head up, looking for the runner, and the runner comes there from Rafferty. Rafferty plays it inside, but it's a wayward pass, but it almost fell to the number 5 there, Jane Lyons, but reacted quickest was Aoife Gorman, and she lays it off now to Lucy Dunn coming forward. Wicklow trying to create something, but space is very limited at the moment. Sarah Delahunty being crowded out outside the 45-metre line, but coming around the outside is Niamh Cullen to gather possession. She's found a little bit of space, plays a wonderful ball into the corner for the full forward Maria Keeley to run on to there, but she needs a runner off her shoulder, and there's none at the moment, and that's well tracking back there from the Tyrone player. She spotted the danger, and Tyrone turned that one over, but then as I say that, they've given possession away yet again, and that's on the ground, I think. Yeah, says the referee. I suppose both teams, they started brightly, but now we're seeing a few mistakes.
A lot of human error there. Like, and surprising for Maria Keeley. Like, to give that the chance, there was a few options out on this right hand side of the field, but really good work by Emma Haggerty. As you said, she saw the danger, she got her hand in, but it's been a comedy of errors there for the last couple of passes on both sides, Alan.
Especially when they had started so brightly, both teams. They weren't giving the ball away too much. But here comes Maher again. The midfielder for Wicklow holds off the challenge there of the Tyrone player, but the hand in, but the referee says illegally so from McHugh. I didn't see too much wrong with it, Niamh, to be honest.
No, well, I suppose he just Alan, we're never going to be able to work out referees' minds or what happens in games, but I think he probably seen a bit of a handoff, and I think he's given her the benefit of the doubt there in that situation.
That's a chance for Keeley, who popped one over from not so far away from the same position to level it up at a point apiece inside the opening 2 minutes. Has now a chance to open a 2-point advantage in the 10th minute here for Wicklow, and she has pulled that one just inside the post. I wasn't sure, Niamh.
I've looked now for a second, and I wasn't sure what the umpires either, but yeah, just into the post, and another goal, so nearly a carbon copy, but possibly a little bit further out, I think, than her last free or her first free in the match. But yeah, it's another super score.
Yeah, that's a wonderful kick out to find McHugh. Wicklow were caught out, they were pushing up on the short kick out, but Tyrone went long, and there's McHugh's going through the middle here. It opens up for McHugh. Has she got a goal on her mind? She does have a goal, and she fires the back of the net, but that came from goalkeeper Sinead McVeigh. Wicklow pushed up on the short kick out, McVeigh went long, found McHugh, and she finished with a wonderful goal.
Yeah, that was it. Like, that's what happens in games, Alan. Teams get caught out and push forward, and it was super score. And she had a lot of work still to do. Even getting in midfield, she still had a lot to do. And it's a super score, and that puts Tyrone right back into it.
It is indeed. And that's where, as you said, teams Wicklow were completely caught out, but not too many goalkeepers can go with that distance. So it was a fantastic kick out, and McHugh, she hadn't to move, just dropped into her hands, and then she just took off.
Yeah, and that's the great thing about keepers. As you said, not many can do it, but the variety in the kick, can go short, go long, to change it around, and that's rather than be too predictable.
Emma Haggerty again tracking back to get an important hand in there, but her wayward pass straight out over the sideline after doing all the hard work to turn the ball over. Yeah, she has handed it back to Wicklow.
She was expecting a lot of Jane Lyons there to make that kick now when she kicked it now, certainly.
So Keeley looking for the runner. There's none at the moment. Plays it inside now to Maher. Maher just gets ahead of McHugh there. Plays it inside to the unmarked corner forward that's playing out deep, Helena Dowling. Dowling turns one way, turns the other, gives it back to Maher again. And Wicklow will be happy to just hold possession and wait the opportunity. And coming from deep again is Winders, and Tyrone not want to let her go again, but they are letting her go. She's playing those 1-2s again, but McHugh stops her, but illegally so, says the referee. A nudge on the back. And again, Winders coming from deep. Tyrone will have to watch her playing those 1-2s because she's going to cause trouble.
Yeah, and it's impossible to defend a player that's running straight at you. It's very hard to defend, and I think Aoibhinn McHugh had no other opportunity or no other chance to do anything there, only to sort of stop her because she was probably afraid that she's going to go straight forward again.
So Keeley again, but this one she's pulled across the front of the post, just maybe a little bit far out for her, just forced it a little bit. So it's 2 from 3 for Keeley from the freeze. So McVeigh, will she go long again? She goes short this time and puts her team under severe pressure straight away, but they've got a lifeline because the referee spotted the push on the back there.
Yeah, you could see Wicklow were a little bit more careful there. They didn't fully commit forward to going forward, or fully push up on Tyrone's kick out there, because they're a little bit more aware in case it goes long again. So
these kick outs, when you go short, Niamh, they have to be perfect.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
They always say if you're not sure, just go long.
Yeah, get it out of the...
At least if you lose the ball around the middle of the field, you have a chance. But if you lose it just outside your 21, you're in trouble.
Definitely so.
Tyrone girl down. I think it is Emer Quinn from Muirtown.
I think it is, yeah.
Felt the force of that challenge. 12 and a half minutes gone. 1-3 to 1-2 in favour of Tyrone. It's been decent enough so far, Dave.
Yeah, and that's, as we said, Wicklow will want to be staying in touch, and they've certainly done that. In fact, went ahead, so they'll be looking to try and capitalise on that, and not, I suppose before the water break, which will be coming up soon, to not, not give any more chances, and not, give Tyrone any more opportunities to score, and to keep the pressure on them.
They'll probably be disappointed with the goal that McHugh was allowed to stand there free. I suppose they weren't expecting it. I think they were just completely caught out.
Yeah, and I think if they took anything, the management team obviously watched the Ulster final and they could see that Antrim pushed up on Tyrone's kickouts and caused damage as a result. So Wicklow was probably taking that, totally on board. But as you said, they got totally caught out. And I see Jane Winders now is more staying back, sort of in that option now in case that happens again.
So Tyrone, thankfully, Emer Quinn okay to continue and back on our feet. And it's the other cornerback now, Maeve Corrigan, that is in possession. Plays it forward here to the midfielder, and that's Emma Jane Gervin, and she lays it off. Coming forward now is Rafferty again, Grania Rafferty flicks it over the head of the Wicklow girl to the Caitlin Campbell coming forward. Campbell jinks one way, jinks the other, gets it onto the right foot. Has it got the legs? That's a good score from Campbell, the Kaleeshal girl.
Great score, and again, Alan, some of these scores have been top drawer, under pressure, especially on the Tyrone side, barring 1 point, I think they've all been from play, that's she had a lot of work to do there, and it was a really good score, and she just was, I think that if these teams take anything from, or any ladies football team, going direct is the only way to go. They'll either foul you or you'll get something out of it, so Tyrone are certainly doing that.
They are indeed. And Wicklow using Winders again for their kick out over on the far side. And coming forward now again is Niamh Kenny. Kenny finds a little bit of space. Maher making that run again. Goes between two Tyrone players. Maher still going. But there's another Tyrone girl coming up to her, which is Corrigan. And Maher's way is stopped, but the support is coming from behind her. And that there is Lucy Jane Shannon. Niamh mentioned coming from the minor team. And nearly turned once too many times there. But Shannon gets a hand in to win it back for Wicklow. They're being pushed back out again, but that's the way Wicklow will like to play. They'll come again. If they have to go back, they will. Lena Dowling now has a little bit of space, and coming in is Keeley from the angle. And she's been fouled there. That was a good run from Keeley. You're shouting advantage, Niamh.
I think that and I think she reacted as well. I think she just had got away. Now, in fairness, probably the referee had the whistle in his mouth and he was giving it, but you could just see that run that Marie Keeley made there. It was a super run, and she's
forced it. She's not taking her time, Niamh.
No.
She forced that one again. She just seemed to get the ball and just went for it instead of just taking her time.
Steadying up like she did with her first two frees,
Those last two, I just felt that she has rushed both of them. That was a very scoreable one.
Very scoreable, probably more scoreable than the two she's already, the two she scored from the wrong side for a right foot kicker.
McVeigh goes long again. This time it was to Grania Rafferty, but Wicklow have got the bodies back now. Coming again is Maeve Corrigan. And now there's a bit of space here for Gervin. Emma Jane Gervin going through the centre, but her way is blocked off, and Wicklow have got bodies back, but Grania Rafferty has a little bit of space here. I'm not sure she was having a go there, dropping it in, but it is in there, and it's a chance now here as one Tyrone player went to the ground, but swinging it on to the left boot, and that's a good score. I think it's the corner forward, number 15, Aoife McGahan it is, with a fine score. And Niamh, we are being treated to some wonderful points.
Yeah, really, really well. And she, again, Aoife had a lot of work to do there. I mean, as we said, Grania Rafferty, we weren't sure if it was a shot or a pass in. We'll give her the benefit of the doubt and say it was a pass in. And I mean, Aoife had a lot of work to do, and she turned out, got the space and turned on her left, and a great score.
Amy Maher has a little bit of space here, and she's got a body with her if she needs it. She's got one either side of her. She got the roar from the far side, so coming forward now is Niamh Cullen. Cullen way is blocked down, and she's hauled down just outside the 21, and hopefully Keeley will just steady herself a little bit more this time.
Yeah, Tyrone, there's a couple of players there. I'd say Tyrone
took it short. Over to Shannon. They're thinking of a goal here. Shannon on the left foot. Wonderful block down. I think it's Maeve Corrigan again. And possibly a point at that stage, Niamh. There's plenty of time to go. They're only 3 points down. And that's another opportunity that Wicklow could be left to root, because it was an opportunity from the free, but they thought there was a goal on. But in fairness to Maeve Corrigan, she was alert to it.
She really was, and maybe Marie Keeley's confidence is a bit low at the moment, Alan. She missed the last two frees, and she'd maybe opted to go short for that reason. But a super block from Maeve Corrigan. And
now there could be a goal chance at the other side, Emma Jane Gervin, but she elects to fist it over the bar, and there was a goal chance, but she's taken the point. What could have been a 2-point game at the other side, suddenly it's gone up to a 4-point game with Emma Jane Gervin, but it was a goal chance. But again, Sasha Bourne is the target, and she's out in front and winning it for Tyrone up there. She's a great target.
Great target, and I mean, she's really the Tyrone. I think it's who is it? Jackie Bourne, I think, that's playing in the full back position, trying to pick up Sasha Bourne, and she's really having her hands full with her now, because she's winning every ball and is a real target, and setting up the play. And she mightn't be scoring a whole pile herself. She actually hasn't scored yet, but she's has her hand in every score that Tyrone have got so far.
I don't think we're going to have a water break. 18 minutes gone. The ball in there, but it's well read again by the Tyrone defence and Emer Quinn. And really, they didn't give Marie Keeley much chance there. There was 2 Tyrone girls, and the ball really had to be pinpoint, and it wasn't, and Emer Quinn cut it out, and Tyrone have it back again. And they're coming forward and settling into this contest pretty well now is Tyrone after a shaky start, and coming forward here is Aoife Harris, who impresses me, I have to say. She seems to have pace about her game and can run at the Wicklow defence, and that's going to be a free in for Tyrone. And it looks like it's going to be the Errigal Kieran girl that is going to take it herself, Harris. But she's going to have to take this one short, and she goes away back inside her own half.
My favourite free.
To Emer Quinn. I know, Niamh, you really do not like those frees going backwards. So Quinn going across the field, gives it now to our other cornerback, Corrigan, and Quinn making a little run maybe for the return. And she's still not picked up. There is Quinn, but instead it's Emma Jane Gervin that gathers possession, but a tug on the arm, says the referee, and this is definitely in Maria Canavan territory, and a chance for the left boot of the Errigal Kieran girl to pop this one over and extend the Tyrone lead out, and Tyrone just beginning to get the upper hand, Niamh.
Yeah, I think, as you said, after a bit of a a rocky start, they have settled into it, and they've sorted out sort of the sweeper person. I think it seems to be Maeve Corrigan now, even though initially we thought it was Emer Quinn, but maybe that they're having a swap in roles. But they've sorted that out now, and she's doing the role she'll be doing. She's coming forward when she needs be, and she's back, and she made that vital block towards the end too. So yeah, they've settled themselves down a bit.
Cameron makes it look so easy.
So easy,
Isn't
just
it?
taps,
Yeah.
It's like a golf swing. It's just so natural to her, so it's a super score, and that's our 3rd point of the game.
Suddenly 5 points, or 1-4 without reply for Tyrone, from being 1-2 to 3 points down. They find themselves now 1-7 to 1-3 in front, and they're putting the pressure on Wicklow here, and Wicklow will be glad to hear that whistle from the referee to signal a free for them.
Yeah, that's one of their first really short kickouts. The Wicklow went there and they left themselves under a lot of pressure because Tyrone had really pushed up on them. So
don't think they're comfortable with the short kick out, and they give possession away again there. And Grania Rafferty, quick thinking from Rafferty, spotted the run of Horrisk again going forward, but she's right into the corner, but she's got support with her, and that support comes from Jane Lyons. Lyons inside, chance here for Sasha Bourne outside the 21, plays it into the centre, who's coming off the shoulder, Grania Rafferty, but under pressure there by Amy Maher, though, has to give it back out now to Canavan trying to get it on to the left boot, but not on this occasion, and gives it back out to Gervin again. Canavan still sitting there if she needs be, and she's sat in that one spot now. She's got herself a little bit of space, but she spotted the run in behind, but just a little bit too much on it. But again, the eyes of Canavan spotted the run. I think it may well have been Sasha Bourne that made that run coming in, or was it the other corner? I think it might have been actually Aoife McGahan, but she just got too much on it. Maybe the wind is stronger. I'm looking at the tricolour over on the far side, and maybe it is stronger than we thought, because it didn't look like Canavan gave that too much.
No, you could see it definitely wasn't a shot. She was totally going for the pass, and you could see the run that was made. So yeah, it didn't seem like there was much on it, but it did end up going out wide. So, but you can see how dangerous, all that those thrown forwards, Aoife Harris, because we mentioned already, Aoife McGahan, they're all getting into these positions, just nipping in behind, and causing trouble for Wicklow at the moment.
Shannon fouled just inside the 45 metre line. Lacey Jane Shannon. And Wicklow take it quickly. Coming from deep is Helena Darling. Darling lays it off now to the midfielder Aoife Gorman. Gorman to her midfield partner Maher. Now back again, but Wicklow way is blocked. Back out to Maher. And Wicklow finding it's hard to find a little bit of space here, but the referee playing the advantage, no advantage. So interesting to see, will it be Keeley that comes over to take this one?
Yeah, I think
or will they change the free taker?
She looks like she's coming, I think. Yeah, she is. But you need to stick with, she's that's how you get your confidence back. She needs to just get a sort of an easier one, and she scored 2 from this position already, so you'd hope she gets this over and gets her confidence back again.
It's not the most suitable for the right footer, just that's why I was wondering had they a left footer, but maybe Keeley is their free dashes. Hit that one sweetly.
It's funny,
an important score for them.
Sometimes there's right foot players that can actually kick more comfortably on the right side, and maybe not as comfortable on the left side. So yeah, it's a good score, and that's our 3rd point, 3rd free in the match.
I did say Wicklow were on 1-3 a minute ago, but they're only gone to 1-3 now. And a nudge on the back there of the Tyrone girl Jane Lyons, so it's 1-7 to 1-3, as you will see on your scoreboard. 23 minutes gone in the opening half. Surprised there's no water break, Niamh.
Yeah, because it was, as
It
I
is
said,
pretty warm out there.
and there was water breaks in the under 14 finals, all in the 14 finals yesterday. So I just assumed they'd be on today as well.
The referee judging. 2 arms around. May have Corrigan again. Another from Erigel Kieran. Just looking through the team. Well, it's just the three of them. They're all down that kind of one wing. May have Corrigan and Aoife Horrisk and Ria Canavan. Although Horrisk seems to be over this end more than she is going down the far side. So that's the way the game is now, Niamh. It's
Absolutely, yeah.
if you don't cover that ground, you're probably going to be sitting on the bench.
Exactly. Thank God I'm not playing anymore. I'd never be able for that running.
And you can't hide from it now.
No,
because
definitely not.
you'll be told about it during the week, how many kilometres you covered.
Absolutely.
And that one trickles out and wide.
Another wide.
It has changed so much, hasn't it?
Oh,
Like when you think of it, like it's crazy.
It is. It's gone. And I suppose, ladies football is obviously the men's football is there's a lot of complaints about it. Ladies football is still a wee bit more forward minded, but there is an element to that. I think he's doing the water break now, is he? Oh no, he's just stopping the sorry, sorry, I didn't notice that. But yeah, it is. It's just a totally different game now, and it's all, it's.
You still miss it though.
I do miss it, yeah.
Especially this time of the year when it comes to
championship, yeah, you definitely do. But it's it is a different world, and it's it's when you look back, I suppose, on it, you obviously got great memories of it, but I don't know if I'd be cut out for this type of playing. I heard a podcast with Shawnee Quigley there from Fermanagh back a couple of weeks ago.
Very good one.
Very good one. But he said how he put his hand up for goals because you touched the ball more if you're a goalkeeper. Now that hasn't come into the ladies' game fully yet, but though funny enough, the down on the 14 keeper yesterday against Monaghan in the silver final, she was mad for it. She nearly scored a point. She was way up the field as well. So
they all want to get involved.
So they're all looking at Ethan Rafferty and Rory Beggan, and
it used to be the position where nobody wanted, but now, as John Quigley said, like they're all putting their hands up now.
Exactly, because you can have a chance to score and you can get up the field.
So Wicklow go with a short kick out, and really they're not comfortable with this short kick out at all, and Tyrone turned that one over, but that was good tracking back there from Lucy Dunn, and Wicklow have it back again, but Tyrone still putting that press on. Again, the referee says a little nudge on the back of the Wicklow Gert, and now they've found a little bit of space over on the far side. So 4 points between the sides, 1-7 to 1-3, and the watch will tell me we're inside the last 5 minutes of normal time, but there will be a couple of minutes of additional time as Winders comes forward here. Quickly offload then to Shannon into Amy Maher. Maher, good hand in there though from Emma Jane Gervin, disrupts that movement, but Wicklow have it back again, and comes forward is Lucy Dunn, put under pressure there, but illegally so, says the referee, by Sasha Bourne from Ahiyarn. And the referee just having a little word here with Lucy Dunn. Not sure what done, but the referee wasn't happy with whatever she may have done.
I would suspect there could be a sin bin coming. Well, maybe it mightn't happen this, but definitely the second half, because I'm sure he's a lot of players on ticks now the way he's going, because certainly there's a few tackles that they're not absolutely terrible tackles, but they're enough for them to tick if it's consistent fouling. So
Wicklow passing it through the hands here, and Shannon a good flick on here, and this might be a goal opportunity for Wicklow, but a wonderful save, but it's still not cleared yet. An opportunity here, they've got another chance, but it's into the goalkeeper Sinead McVeigh, who pulled off a fine save. She got down low to stop the first one. The effort from Ruby Keogh, but that was a good move from Wicklow. Quick hands and quick thinking from Lacey Jane Shannon to just flick it on instead of taking it into possession.
Absolutely, and it just looks at the ease that Wicklow got through there too, and that'll be something that Tyrone management and the players will not be happy with. It's so easy to go through, and as you said, really smart thinking by the young Lacey Jane Shannon to just not catch it and flick it in, but a really good save from Sinead McVeigh.
Sasha Bourne with the effort, but she rushed it and was out and wide. She was coming from deep that time, Sasha Bourne. She took the ball off Aoife McGahan, who was the target on this occasion, and this time Bourne was coming from deep, but she couldn't get the effort away. Well, she got the effort away, but it was a disappointing one. The goalkeeper, Ellen Griffin, doesn't want to go short, I don't think, but she has gone short. But they've held on to possession this time, and now she can go out long. And this time it has worked out for Wicklow. They'd be disappointed not to have taken that goal chance, because goal chances don't come around too often, and they did, as Niamh said, open up the Tyrone defence there, but with no reward. Well, in fairness, we have to give credit to Sinead McVeigh, the Muirtown custodian, with a fine save. But here comes Wicklow again. Maher in possession, but she's crowded out and goes down under the challenge of 2 Tyrone players, and this is a chance for Keeley to reduce the deficit. Just when we thought Tyrone were getting the upper hand, Neve, Wicklow, in fairness to them, they've responded.
Yeah, they absolutely have, and I think it's like credit to the midfield and powering of Amy Maher and Aoife Gorman. I think they've been really trying to drive the thing forward, and you know, where the kick out maybe goes short, they end up being the people that pick it up in the 45-metre line and get the scores. And there's Marie Keeley's back, and her shooting boots are back again, Alan. That's 2 in a row for her now again.
I think the 2 she missed, Neve, I'm going back, she rushed both of them.
Yeah, well, certainly the second one, Alan, she definitely rushed it. You know, she I don't know, she must have thought maybe there was a goal opportunity, but as you said, early on in a game like that, it's important to get the points on the board. But there was another good rob there from Aoife Gorman, and set the attack up again.
Keeley has plenty of space, but unfortunately for her, she's way out in the corner. Going out to mark her is Kiva McGee, but Keeley goes past McGee. Keeley onto the right foot. Has she swung that one over? Yes, she has. It's 3 in a row for Marie Keeley. It's 3 in a row for Wicklow, and suddenly they're back to within 2 points.
Yeah, that was brilliant, and as I said again, Aoife Gorman was the one that broke up that play, and a quick fast ball into Marie Keeley, and she gets that space, you know, you can see what she can do with it, Alan, and you know, that's probably why Tyrone is trying to get players back. But if you get the ball in early to her, they don't get the players back in time, and she can do that kind of damage.
I do wonder why McVeigh doesn't go long more times, because she seems to be fit to pick out a player on every occasion.
She does, yeah, and I mean, you can see what the change they got out of that brilliant long kick out that she already did, and the super goal from Aoibhinn McHugh. But yeah, she seems to have continued to go short now.
It's good play there from Niamh Cullen and Wicklow. Breaking quickly again, those 2 midfielders, as you mentioned, combining, and here is one on Maher, plays it into the corner, looking for the run there of Ruby Keogh again. Had that goal chance, she's tracked over there, but she held possession. Shannon is out to help her. Lacey, Jean Shannon in possession, comfortable in possession of the ball as well. Plays a good ball across, looking for Helena Dowling, and coming from deep, and an opportunity here for Keeley onto that right foot again, and Keeley with a wonderful score. Who would ever doubt her?
Yeah, absolutely. That was super. I'm just so impressed the way Wicklow moved that ball, and you know, and again, Lacey Jane Shannon, a little bit of class by her, like kind of a little dummy solo over in the far wing, and they found it over to the right person with the shooting boots on, Marie Keeley, and a really good score. And I mean, Wicklow only had 2 wides in this game, and they've been both from maybe a free and you know, something else, but you know, they've got the shooting boots on, and it's winning a point now, and it's exactly where Wicklow want to be coming up to half time.
And that's Marie Keeley's 6th point of the day. 4 from frees, 2 from play, and they're back to within a point, and we're into additional time at the end of this first half. So Tyrone will be looking to extend that lead. They were 5 points clear at one stage, but Wicklow have responded with 4 unanswered points, all from the boot of Keeley. Here comes Hegarty now for Tyrone. Showed the ball and then jinks past her to player. Goes again. There's a wonderful run from Hegarty. She might have goal on her mind here, and she flicks it, and that is into the back of the net. She had lost possession, so I think it is a goal, Neve. Yes, it is, because she hadn't possession. It had gone to ground, and that's a wonderful run from Emma Hegarty, and a good goal for Tyrone. Well finished, quick thinking from Hegarty again. She went to ground, lost possession, but she just flicked the ball to the back of the net.
It was brilliant, Alan, and to be honest, I was watching the referee because I wasn't sure if he was actually giving it, because I thought maybe the whistle, it's hard to hear up here whether the whistle had gone or not. But yeah, a super score, really fast thinking, as you said, a bit Owen Mulligan-esque with the show and the ball, and the wee jinxing the ball in and out. Super work, and when she had lost possession, quick thinking of using the fist and fisting into the net. So a really good score and a really good reply from Tyrone, and badly needed for them at that stage. To Wicklow's tails were certainly up.
Yeah, I was the same as you. I wasn't sure if the ref was giving it there, but I could see nothing wrong with it. But here comes Tyrone again. Can they finish with another goal? An opportunity for Aoibhinn McHugh, but it's straight at the defender back there. And it was a let off. Wicklow, almost after all the hard work of getting back into it, almost conceded 2 goals within a minute, but Winders was back on the line to gather possession. But can Wicklow get a score before the break? They had it back to a point. They're now 4 adrift again, but they're coming forward with the midfielder Aoife Gorman. Gorman plays it inside. An opportunity for Cullen to go long here, but that's not the ball that they want in the forward line. But the referee has adjudged a push on the back there, and I think the Tyrone girl can feel a little bit hard done by there. I don't think she really pushed her too badly.
I don't think she pushed her on him. I think it was a bit of cuteness by Ruby Keogh. She actually backed into her to make it seem like he pushed her. So I think you're probably right, but at the same time it was a bit of cuteness, and you know, it's a badly needed free now for Wicklow at the stage after that goal.
She doesn't waste any time at all. She really doesn't.
No, she doesn't. You've all these players taking a little solo and a hop before they kick a free.
So Keeley's 7th point of the day. She's on fire. I know she did miss a couple, but
that's a great reply from Wicklow, in fairness. Really good reply.
They kick out and there goes the half-time whistle. 2-7 to 1-7. It's been a good game of football, I have to say. Yes, we've had mistakes, but in fairness to them, both teams is going about their business and have put on a very good show, Niamh.
They really have, Alan. Really, if this was the championship, we looked at intermediate, and I actually think the intermediate championship is something that always gives. It's always competitive. There's always surprise results, and has been like that for the last number of years.
I'm sorry I'm cutting across you, but
no.
I think the reason they're much more evenly matched, because you're looking at the senior championship, unfortunately we do have very strong teams. We have teams that aren't at that level. When you look across the intermediate, you're probably thinking, who will win this?
Yeah, you could
Isn't it?
seriously
that's the way
look
it
across
is.
that there could be 6-7 teams you could pick that could all have a shout in to win the intermediate championship, and that's what I think it is. It is the championship it keeps on giving. I've been saying that the last couple of years. It really is. And I mean, obviously there's Tyrone were hot favourites probably to win it last year, and got knocked out by Wexford in a quarter final or semi final. You know, so it really is. It is, and I mean, Wicklow, in fairness to them, are putting it up to them. And that was the perfect reply to them. They can go into the dressing rooms now and sort of regroup again and come out in the second half.
We've had 3 goals, 3 top class goals. To be honest, like the first one we talked about from Winders for Wicklow was a fantastic goal, but then the long kick out from Sinead McVeigh that found Aoibhinn McHugh, made that wonderful run and finish, and then that wonderful pure genius from Emma Hegarty. As you said, she showed the ball twice, jinxed past the players, and then when she did lose possession, had the quick thinking just to flick it to the net. Yeah,
there's been really some really stylish and really innovative kind of ideas in what players are doing out there today, Alan. Some, his little dummy solos, these little dummies, and good thinking. We talked about Lacey Jane Shannon for the almost Wicklow goal down here. The little flick. There's been loads of that, which is great to see. And players are thinking for themselves now and coming, sort of trying things different. They're not all robots and doing what they're told in every sense of the word. But yeah, 3 top class goals, Alan, and really look forward to the second half and what it's going to bring.
Exactly. More from Niamh and myself in the second half. It's been an entertaining opening half. It's advantage Tyrone at the break. Tyrone 2-7, Wicklow 1-7.
What can happen in just 1 second? Winning goal, winning save, perfect tackle, clever flick, good call from the ref, great shout from the line. The county title, after 30 years, a long wait over, in just 1 second. It's a game of seconds. Glorious seconds. Genius in split seconds. By great players. Just 1 second. The difference between a good decision and a bad one. A lost temper, frustrated shout, that gut reaction. We've all done it. And we're never proud. But we can do better. We all can. Sideline, dressing room, meeting room, all places of passion where split-second decisions are made. Good ones, bad ones, some days not so calm ones. It's instinct, we know, because we love it. We just don't think. But we have to. Of others, of our players, of our game. Think before we act.
Take a second, catch your breath. Collect yourself, don't regret. Take a second to make the right call for ladies Gaelic football.
welcome back here to Lanier. The second half, both teams back on the park. 3 points between the sides. Tyrone leading 2-7 to 1-7. That goal from Emma Hegarty on the stroke of half time, giving Tyrone that lead, although Wicklow did respond with a point from Marie Keeley, who has hit 7 points in the first half, but still 3 points between the sides as Tyrone hold that advantage. Elsewhere in the group, the early game this afternoon was won by Clare, Clare 117, Offaly 112, the final score in that one. So they will top the group unless one of these two teams can win by more than 5 points, of course, but it's all very early stages. The opening day of the TG4 Intermediate Football Championship. You're joining us live here in Lanier. Niamh Kinlan and myself bringing you through the second half here, just waiting on Paul Burke to get us underway. The live man, just making sure everything's okay. Don't think there's any changes on either side. We will keep an eye out as the half progresses, but we haven't been told of any half-time changes as Paul Burke gets us underway for the start of the second half. And the referee has already spotted a nudge on the back of a Wicklow girl, so it's going to be a free to Wicklow, going to be taken by the midfielder, which is Aoife Gorman. Much of the same in the second half, you would expect, Niamh.
Absolutely, Alan. And now I suppose we're going to get to see what this wind is like for Wicklow and see if it is a big factor for Tyrone as well.
Here comes Gorman. Sidesteps the challenge there of Emma Jane Gervin. The midfielder still going, but her way is blocked and she's give possession away as Tyrone cut that one out. And it's the number 5 that was back there, Jane Lyons, that cut it out and wins her team a free out. And it's taken and almost put the Tyrone gear in trouble over on the far side. And the referee just having a look there as the Wicklow girl went down off the ball, but the referee's happy enough with it and Tyrone come forward. Gervin again lays it off now to McHugh. McHugh drives past the challenge there of Lucy Dunn, and in forward now to Canavan onto that left foot again, and it's dropping short and the goalkeeper waits. Maybe the wind could have caught that one a wee bit, Niamh.
I think it might have, Alan, yeah, because when it left her foot I thought it was looking like it was going to sail over the bar, but yeah, the wind might have pulled it back a wee bit, and maybe the wind has picked up a bit, and you look at the tricolour too, it does seem like it's a wee bit stronger, and even at the flags down at the pitch side.
I was just going back to that earlier one where Canavan was trying to play the ball into Aoife McGahan that made the run, and it seemed that the wind, because she'd give it so little, but the wind seemed to catch it and drag it wide. That's why I'm thinking that it may be stronger than we thought it was. But here, as you said, we'll find out more as the second half progresses if it's favouring Wicklow. It's a long fist forward in there, and that's a trip, an accidental trip, but it is a trip. No, the referee says it's not a trip.
Oh.
And it's a sideline ball to Tyrone. I think the Wicklow girl was tripped.
Yeah, it
was accidental, but
it was a trip. Yeah, it certainly was. That's out for 45.
There's Wicklow or Tyrone.
There's a bit of
possession away.
A bit of nerves there. She did start Joanne Barrett. Yeah, that was certainly, I suppose, justice was done, as they say there, Alan, because I think that we felt Wicklow should have had a free, and Tyrone basically gave it back to them by kicking the ball out over the own.
The Tyrone girl didn't mean it, but she did catch her ankle.
She definitely did, yeah.
So Keeley is going to take this 45, plays it backwards, much to the delight of Niamh beside me to see it going back. But here is Wicklow now coming very much forward through Amy Maher. Put under pressure there by Maeve Corrigan. Corrigan, one of those little tigerish cornerbacks, and Tyrone almost get it back, and they do get it back because Barrett is tackling for her life and wins possession. Done very well, did Barrett, and Tyrone have it back again, but they're put under pressure and the referee has given them a free out here, and Corrigan is going to take it. But Wicklow pushing up on us here. It'll be interesting if Sinead McVeigh, I suppose that's one we will tell, if she goes along with one of the kickouts. Absolutely, and just cause you see the way Tyrone are acting there, like they're trying to give everything short and backwards because they're afraid to go long because of the wind, maybe. So Tyrone put under pressure, but they've won themselves another free. It's been an untidy start to the second half, 3.5 minutes gone at the moment, as they tried to work their way out now. Do Tyrone, the full back there, Kiva McGee, the referee judging that McGee had been fouled again. Emma Jane Gervin gives it back again to McGee, lays it off to McHugh, the team captain. McHugh goes between two Wicklow girls, the long strides of McHugh finds a little bit of space out now to Grania Rafferty. The Kalisha girl lost possession momentarily, but got it back and lays it off now to McGee. Kiva McGee back again to Rafferty. Rafferty looks ahead of herself, no option, so she went on the run and then played it into McHugh. Quick offload to Gervin. Now a chance here for Hegarty. Hegarty inside. This is a good move for Tyrone. Horace though drops the ball, but she gets it away and just across the front of the goal. Chance there for Horace, but it's gone to the wrong side and wide. It was a great move from Tyrone, but unfortunately the ball got away from her, and then she was kind of stretching to get the shot away, Niamh.
Yeah, it was a really good move, and you can see how they can open up the Wicklow defence there very, very easily. And Aoife Horace, obviously has scored a point in the first half and has been very influential for Tyrone, but it just, as you said, she just lost control at the wrong moment, and it was stretching away from, and she tried to soccer style get it into the net, but it just went wide. Now it really was looking like it was going for the goal, but it just out the wrong side of the post.
Great play from Lucy Dunn down in front of us. Lays it off now to Amy Maher. Maher way is blocked. The referee's whistle sounds, but she was challenged right in front of him there by Jane Lyons, and the Barra girl adjudged to have fouled Amy Maher from Tinahely in Wicklow. She's going to take this free herself. She plays it across, and that's a waste of possession, a complete waste, right out over the far sideline, giving Marie Healy no chance at all.
She didn't look too happy about it either, I think. But yeah, Amy Maher, obviously from, as you said, Tinahely, the two midfielders there, I just actually realised that when I looked at. But obviously Tinahely have made great strides as a club in Wicklow and got to the Leinster senior final last year, only losing out to Kilmacud. So there's definitely great work going on at club level as well in Wicklow.
4 of them starting this afternoon for Wicklow, so very much a backbone of the Wicklow team.
Very much so.
Injury here, it looks like it's Lucy Dunn, yeah. And a change also on the Tyrone side, is there? Emma Hegarty's not coming off, is she? She's making her way over here. She is. Emma Hegarty.
Looks like she is. I don't know who's going on though. No one is
coming off the field. Yep, Emma Hegarty has been.
Someone must have come on then, we didn't see her run on.
No, it's Niamh Hughes. Number 14 is in.
Oh yes.
So Niamh Hughes for Emma Hegarty. In fairness, there's no bad replacement.
Absolutely not. Great to have someone like Niamh Hughes on the bench to be able to bring her on.
Definitely has the pace to cause Wicklow trouble, and the skill to run with the ball as well. Grania Rafferty down in front of us, but the referee's whistle sounds again, and he's going back for, obviously it must have been an off the ball one.
It's been a bit stop starting now this first 6 or 7 minutes there, Alan. It's been a lot of whistling for the referee, not totally deserving, but it's just been a bit sloppy by both teams, to be honest.
Well, here is Hughes now in possession for Tyrone. She plays it across to the far side and went for the return, but they elected not to use her on this occasion. Even McHugh now with a little bit of space, jinks inside the challenge, and coming from deep is Gervin, and the referee's whistle sounds again for the challenge on Gervin, and a chance here now for Maria Canavan with that trusty left boot.
Yeah, I keep saying it, Alan. Do you know what I mean? When teams run, there's no option. Only let them go or foul them, and that's the thing. And you can see that on both sides. If you run direct at the defence, they can only have no option only to foul you, and you can get frees from it. If you have
Canavan, it's gone across the front of the post, and I think this wind is
a factor. I was about to say, and if you have players at the calibre of free takers like Maria Canavan and Maria Keeley, then you don't mind, or you're going to be in trouble giving away frees in those positions. But yeah, as we said, the wind maybe has changed a wee bit in this half as well, because you can see Marie Keeley scored a couple of great ones from that position, so it's obviously changed a wee bit.
It's a great kick out, well gathered there by Lacey Jane Shannon as well. She's going forward, referee gives her the free, and that's a quick one in for Keeley. Out in front, gathers possession. This Keeley now turns off and sets towards the Tyrone goal, but is pulled back. Now the referee says no. I've seen him giving softer frees. Keeley back on her feet, but puts it out and wide. I've seen softer frees given.
Absolutely, Alan. God, I was sure, and I actually, when he put his hands out, I thought it was for free, and maybe in fact something more than just a free that he might have been, because I did mention before half time about he ticked a lot of Tyrone players, I would have felt. So yeah, that was a bit harsh now, and she did everything right, won the ball, and
he's given a
maybe he's
the judge to have threw the ball here has Tyrone.
The game is on 7. How long is it on now?
Forward as well. Interesting to see, will Keeley come out to have a go from here? With that wind at her back, she is coming out. It'll be a mighty kick inside the 45 metre line, but I guess if anybody can, Marie Keeley fancies her chances to have a go from here. Or is she going to try and go short? She's going to try and launch it in, but it's not going towards the goal, but it's not out and wide either, but it comes off the Wicklow gear last. It is out and wide now, and maybe they should have worked it short, Niamh.
Yeah, I think so. I think she just, again, she sort of just threw her boot at that one. And I just actually, just as she was lining up to take it, I was saying, why isn't there more Wicklow players kind of in around the goals? Never, because it'd be an unbelievable kick for it to get it the whole way over the bar from that position.
We had a very good first half. The first 10 minutes of the second half hasn't much to write home about. As it stands, it's been littered with mistakes and stoppages. Here's Niamh Hughes trying to come forward here for Wicklow, but she runs into the Wicklow gear, and the referee says she has been fouled. So free to Tyrone, and they try to move it over here now to this side here, but the wind has caught that one and it's gone out and over the sideline. And
you're being kind there, Alan, saying it was the wind. I'm not sure about that. I think it was just a complete miss kick. But yeah, as you said, it's
possession given away again. Straight to Maria Canavan. Canavan trying to get it inside the left, but no, she lays it off here. Chance here for Saoirse Bourne. Didn't want to go herself, gives it back to Aoibhinn McHugh. His effort goes to the wrong side and wide. And really, Niamh, we've had 10 minutes of the second half, and it's really been 10 minutes to forget about.
Yeah, absolutely, Alan. It's been really, really poor, as you said, littered with stoppages and loads of mistakes. That's thrown second wide, poor wide, really. That was a really poor one. And obviously Wicklow have one, and then there was one that was in out for 45. But yeah, it's been really, really poor.
Good first half.
Really good first half, and it's just it's been disappointing. Now we need to get one or other teams to settle down. And God, it's been harsh there
Keeley's
again.
thinking, how did she get a free? Looked like she got their ankles clipped there. She gathered possession, but in fairness to Paul Burke, he's closer, so maybe she tripped herself, but it looked like the Tyrone girl just caught the ankles. But here's a good run from Emma Jane Gervin, off now to Horace going at the Wicklow defence. It's going to have a go here, but it's away across the front of the goal. It's going to be closer to the corner flag, if it even is going to go out for a wide. It is.
It is just about. Marie Keeley, I think that was a little bit harsh again, and that's two chances now. And in a lot of cases, the referee will give the benefit out to the person in possession of the ball,
especially with how he's gone in the game, because he is given a lot of frees for touch, like the minor of touches, and some of those that look more blatant, he isn't given.
Yeah, absolutely, and definitely, certainly, them last two possessions that Marie Keeley's gotten, he would have really felt she was fouled, and she didn't get a free.
Here is Emer Quinn. Tyrone still lead by that 3 points. It's as you were at half time, 2-7 to 1-7. Chance now for Aoibhinn McHugh. Plays it off here. Chance for Saoirse Bourne. Saoirse Bourne trying to go around the long way, but there's no way around. Bourne still going. The referee has given her a free. And I'm bemused, Niamh.
Yeah, I am too, Alan, believe me. Yeah, that was, I think, the defender there, I think it was Sarah Evans, maybe, that I think it was. I think she did everything right. She stood her up, she stopped her from running, and I think she, in fact, I think she had kind of lost, that Saoirse had lost kind of possession of the ball. So yeah, it was a simple free now, and it's a chance for
Canavan, but she's missed it.
My goodness.
Across the front of the post.
Well, Alan, we didn't come out of our little hen house since we came in before the start of this game, so maybe the wind has really changed.
It's hard to believe what we saw in the first half to what we have seen in the opening 12 and a half minutes of the second half, Niamh. To be honest, both teams were very good in the first half.
Yeah, anyone that's tuning in just now, believe me, the first half was really good, and we're not just making it up. It really was a really high quality first half and some brilliant scores from both sides.
Here is Horace for Tyrone coming forward. Runs into the Wicklow gear, but there's a chance here now maybe for Caitlin Campbell, but her way is blocked back out to Horace again. Have to rework it back out here, but there might be a chance here for McGahan. McGahan trying to find a bit of space, lays it off to Canavan. Canavan with the left foot off the top of the crossbar and over, and we've had our first score of the second half, and as this came from Maria Canavan, her 4th point of the day, and it opens up a 4-point lead for Tyrone.
Yeah, it's hard to believe Alan taking almost the 14th minute to get the first score. So yeah, a good score from Marie Canavan. The referee gave the advantage when it was on. Maybe Emma Jane Gervin had almost maybe a chance on a goal, but definitely got into that area. But yeah, well taken by Marie Canavan. Just on the loop round, she's really dangerous in those positions.
Super kick out from Ellen Griffin, finds Amy Maher. Amy Maher pushed to the ground there inside the 45 metre line. And the Tyrone girl is adamant she didn't do too much. I thought maybe Maher had lost possession and was going to ground, and the referee may have more to do with Evian McHugh here. And the book is out, and we could be seeing a sin bin. Eve, you'd mentioned that there was a lot of players ticked. Maybe Evian McHugh is one of those.
Yeah, and I mean, yeah, there it is. There's the three fouls and a yellow card, and she's going to spend 10 minutes in the bin, and that's a really vital stage now, Alan. You know, with halfway through the first half, to lose your midfielder and Evian McHugh, it's already scored a goal in this match, and we know how influential she's been in running up and down the field. Now, equally, Wicklow have to be equally now very, very careful and very disciplined in their defending, to not give away. Not lose a player now, because you know you see it a lot that teams is very quickly, it's evened up very very quickly into this stage when someone gets a player sin binned.
So Wicklow with the numerical advantage now for the next 10 minutes. Can they make it count? They're 4 points adrift, but here's Winders quick offload here in, and there might be a chance, but it's back out to Winders. You might have to be happy with the point here. Back to Keeley with the right foot, quick and incisive from Keeley for her 8th point of the day, and they've got off to the perfect start with the extra number, but now they'll try to push up on this kick out from McVeigh, but they haven't pushed up. They've allowed Tyrone to easily work it out, Niamh.
Yeah, and that's the exactly when they need to be pushing up, Alan. You know, not, you know, when you're a player, when you have got the numerical advantage, you've been working really well 15v15. Now you need to push that player up and not end up having 2 free players, because that's foolish, and that was really good work there by.
That looked like a throw ball.
It looked like also a double hop, I think, as well.
I think that's why she threw the ball then, but maybe she didn't have it in the 2 hands and she kind of palmed it away. But here they come. Wicklow, a goal adrift, but the numerical advantage, and the referee says over carrying. And a free out.
Again, Alan, as we said, we're up here and he's like the referee is much closer to the action than we are, but I thought that was a little bit harsh again. I thought she was kind of fouled, to cause maybe taking a step too far. So
Tyrone, and this is where Niamh Hughes will really come into it, because she'll be a runner, and she did cause that opportunity that slipped through the hands of the Tyrone girl. I think it was Sasha Bourne that it slipped through the hands in their last move, but it came from a good run from Niamh Hughes, and I think we'll see more of that with Tyrone. Now a player down for the next 10 minutes, but Tyrone lead still by that goal, 2-8 to 1-8. And this is the opening round of the TG4 Intermediate Football Championship. He doesn't like the pushing.
no,
our referee.
definitely doesn't.
And here is Grania Rafferty coming forward now for Tyrone on the 21, trying to steady herself, but her angle was getting tighter, and then she forced it, and that's wide number 6 in the second half for Tyrone. At 5 in the first half, Niamh, 11 and all.
Yeah, and all those wides have been, certainly the last 3, Alan, have been poor wides, if you want to call them that, like just wrong shot option, taken in a position that they're not. And I mean, as we talked about this wind, if it is a factor, they should be getting into the proper shot positions and in the arc where the money or the possession of scoring or the percentage of scoring is higher.
Grania Rafferty in there, but there's 3 Wicklow girls, but the wind, Wicklow hadn't the same trouble in the first half.
No, they
into
didn't.
them goals. That's why I'm shocked with what Tyrone have done. But here is Shannon coming up along the wing, but her way is blocked. Gives it to Dowling, now to Maher. Quick hands from Maher. Off now to Cullen. Cullen waits for the midfielder, who wasn't the best of passes to the midfielder. It was more down at her feet, but she's still scrambling for possession. She done very well, laid it off there along the ground to Cullen. And it's been another push.
Yeah, that was really good work there by Aoife Gorman, Alan. It was 2v1 on the ground. Just goes to strength when she's on the ground. To do the of palming the ball away, which you're allowed to do in a match, and did really good work to get the ball back out to one of our own players.
Tyrone make another change. Emma Conroy. Sorry, I stood on your thing. That's why. The lead, Emma Conroy from Moy, is in for Tyrone, and coming off is Aoife McGahan from Irua. It's the player that has come off the Tyrone team.
Then 19 for Wicklow's in there too.
And 19.
Emer McCann. No, sorry, Wicklow.
Isabel Ledesma.
And she's in for 15.
Helena Darling.
Oh, is that right? I think it was
Does it
15,
come
yeah.
off? Yeah, I think you're right. Lena Dowling is the player that has come off, and there's a race for possession here, but I think it's the Wicklow girl that's going to win it. It is indeed. It's Megan Healy that wins that race, and now Wicklow, as I say, with that numerical advantage. The Tyrone captain Aoibhinn McHugh in the sin bin at the moment, and it's a substitute now, Isabella Ledesma, that was in possession. But here come Wicklow looking to make inroads. Niamh Kenny, they're a goal adrift at the moment. They've just hit the 1 point since Tyrone lost Aoibhinn McHugh to the sin bin. Shannon's way is blocked, lays it off though to the midfielder Gorman. Gorman still going. Gorman holds off the challenge, but that's charging, says the referee, and it's a free out to Tyrone.
Yeah, I think that's the right decision there, Alan. You know, I think she sort of ran out of options a little bit. You know, two Tyrone players come around her. She, you know, didn't just had no other option, kind of, you know, in the charge into the player. So correct decision by the referee there.
Almost 20 minutes gone in the second half. It's really a second half. There's very few highlights. There'll not be many making the highlight reel from the second half of this one, but there was plenty in the first half. It's hard to believe, like, it's what we saw in the first half to what we have saw in the second half here, but Tyrone won't complain. They still lead. We've only had a point apiece in the second half. They lead by that goal. There's an opportunity here now for Niamh Hughes coming forward for Tyrone, the substitute. Hughes though runs into the blue brick wall, lays it in. A chance here for Caitlin Campbell. That's a good goal from Caitlin Campbell, coming from centre half back with the goal for Tyrone. Good play from Niamh Hughes, who waited the opportunity, played it into Campbell, and she made no mistake. 21 minutes gone, and you would feel that could be the deciding score.
Yeah, that could be definitely the seal the deal for Tyrone now, Alan. I suppose at this stage, we're over midway through the second half, vitally needed for Tyrone. Obviously, being a player down, and you know, a really good answer to that is, you know, sort of holding possession and running through. And as you mentioned, when Niamh Hughes was coming on, she was certainly going to be a player that was able to run. She's able to hold on possession, run at speed, and just give the right pass to Caitlin Campbell. And that's 1-1. Caitlin Campbell has scored from centre back in this match, and you know, a really vital score at the time it's come.
Yeah, Niamh Hughes is an excellent footballer. I'm not sure if she had an injury, or maybe it is tactical that you can't bring a player of that quality on from the bench, although I'm sure she'd love to be starting, but sometimes it's important to have players on the bench with quality that can come on at vital stages as well. It's all about game management nowadays in the game, and here come Tyrone. The referee plays the advantage, but Tyrone will not be worried about the advantage because they've still had possession. Emma Jane Gervin holds off the challenge there and holds on to possession, and will probably try to run down the clock a little bit. It's now to Hughes again, who spreads it over to the far side. 21 and a half minutes gone in the second half as they come forward. The run again, but that pass wasn't the best, and Wicklow have it back, but Wicklow need to get the ball up the other side and create opportunities. And we've seen them in the first half where they can create the opportunities, but we haven't seen it in the second half as of yet. Niamh Cullen comes forward, gives it off now to Amy Maher, sidesteps the challenge and lets the ball in there, and it's a good ball in as well. And there might be an opportunity here as Keeley comes around the back. It wasn't the best of passes though to Keeley, but it does find the number 2 up there, which is Sarah Evans, and Evans pops it over the bar. But I think if the pass had went to the hands of Keeley, it may have opened up for her a wee bit.
It may have, is right, Alan, but you know, credit to Sarah Evans. You know, she was in the right place at the right time, and you know, took her point, and that sort of, you know, keeps the scoreboard ticking over for Wicklow, and you know, they're still getting in these opportunities at the same time. It's a brilliant tackle there from. Oh no.
The referee says a tug on the jersey of Emma Conroy, so it's going to be a free to Tyrone. As Gavin Wynne shouts out instructions from the Wicklow bench. It's back to Niamh Hughes. And Hughes going soloing, goes past the challenge of Maher, Amy Maher, and lays it off now to Maeve Corrigan, coming forward for Tyrone. He just stops in her tracks and gives it back to Niamh Hughes, who's come on and seems to be just playing that role of holding possession and sitting there, Niamh, and then making those darting runs. Yeah,
that's exactly it. That, you know, she's always been given that role to come in and sort of sweep around the middle, and as you said, you know, hold up possession when she's needed, and run forward and you know, sort of keep the ball in Wicklow's half.
So here come Tyrone, holding possession. Every second they can hold on to it, it'll mean that Aoibhinn McHugh will be coming closer to getting back on the field. of play, which will be very, very shortly. I would feel in the next minute or two she is due back on, and Tyrone will be pretty happy because they've outscored Wicklow a goal to 2 points in that period. And here goes Hughes again, lays it off there to the other substitute. An opportunity, wonderful block down from Winders though, and it's back out the back door towards Niamh Hughes again, who will recycle it and gives it back out. That way was blocked for Tyrone, so they'll just hold possession and come again, and they're doing exactly that now at the moment, with the third goal scorer there involved, which was Caitlin Campbell. Back out now to Grania Rafferty, but Tyrone comfortable in possession and running down the clock as McHugh goes out to warm up, because she's going to be coming back in very shortly indeed. Tyrone leading by 5, and the referee says spotted a push on the back. That's good play from Tyrone, don't we?
Yeah, exactly, Alan. And that's just, I suppose that's a bit of quality to have now, and experience is a big thing too. They know they have the game sort of, I suppose you could say, won now, and as you said, longer they have the ball in their possession, and even if it's not ticking on the scoreboard, it's in their possession, and Wicklow don't have it, so they'll continue to do that. And yeah, it's just, I suppose, game management at this stage.
And Canavan wasn't even interested in having a go from there. It's about holding possession at the moment. She gives it back to Maeve Corrigan, who has impressed me. And there is Hughes coming through the centre again, and she's got pace, and she has a finish if it needs be, but she may not have a go here. She is going to have a go, but I think it was half blocked down. And
might be just the best option there now, not getting the dead ball.
Somebody, well, that's good play there from. And she's impressed me, has Joanne Barrett. Really has impressed me. Has Barrett in there for Tyrone, and she made sure that was her ball. Now it's with Maria Canavan. Canavan plays it back to Caitlin Campbell, and Tyrone, as I say, she said, Niamh, it's all about game management, and they're doing exactly that. And Wicklow are just chasing shadows at the moment, and they're 5 points adrift. Clare won the other group game this afternoon by 5 points, so it looks like Tyrone and Clare, who you would fancy probably the favourites from this group, are off to a winning start, you would feel.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, I suppose this is so frustrating for Wicklow too, because and the temperatures is out there today, Alan, as well. It's so frustrating to try and be chasing the ball the whole time.
Here's a chance for Sasha Bourne, and it's just gone over the bar. But again, Niamh Hughes was involved as Evelyn McHugh comes back on there for Tyrone. A good score again, but it was that run from Hughes.
Yeah, absolutely. And ironically, that's Sasha Bourne's first score in the match, and we were talking about how she had a hand involved in every score in the first half, probably for Tyrone, so that's her first point in the match. But equally, as we said, Niamh Hughes has been a real introduction of pace and legs, I suppose, in the sense that she's able to carry the ball from distance to distance, and it's so important, and it's been a great sense of for a great boost for Tyrone, shall I say.
Wicklow waste possession, driving that ball forward, and really they can't afford to just hand the ball back to Tyrone as easy as that, and indeed let Tyrone work it out of defence as easy as that. And I think the legs are gone from Wicklow. Yeah,
I think that in the last couple of minutes there, Alan, of Tyrone holding possession, it's so tiresome on the team that's trying to win it back, and it is, the legs are gone. I think that last kick, Alan, was just pure tiredness too, because there was no one able to go up the field to support the kick, and just kicked it.
Well, Tyrone seem to be just getting stronger. I definitely think the introduction of Niamh Hughes when she's running at you is the last thing a tired player wants at the moment, and that's deflected out for a 45. And the look at the watch tells me 2.5 minutes of normal time. 3-9 to 110 in favour of Tyrone. I have it 1-9. You got it 110, Niamh? The scoreboard says 110. I have it 1-9.
Yeah, hold on, I'll just check.
Maybe I've not marked down the score.
Marie Keely's on 8.
Oh, she is on 8 and Sarah 8. No, it's my mistake.
Okay, yeah.
No, that'll be right. 8. And then
that's what I say, 8. And then Sarah Evans on 9.
Evans one, yeah. No, I was thinking of 2 other scorers, but the other scorer is Sarah Jane Winders with a goal.
No, because I was just going to say that I suppose that's the other thing for Wicklow. I mean, you look across, by half time there was 7 different scorers in the Tyrone setup. I think there's actually 1 or 2 more now, because obviously we said Sasha Bourne's first point there. So, you can see the difference where you're relying on your 2 players in your full back line on the programme, maybe not playing necessarily full back, and then your full forward is doing all your scoring for Wicklow, and that's probably a little bit of a worry for them, that they're heavily reliant on Marie Keely.
They were competitive in the first half, but the second half it's been untidy from both sides, in particular. I suppose Wicklow, they really haven't offered too much in the second half. Tyrone now just running down the clock and very much on the upper hand and on the front foot, and Sasha Bourne in possession, lays it into Emma Jane Gervin, who has had a very good game too, as Emma Jane, and the referee spotted a
push.
shoulder, a little push, and I think we're having a change here. It's Wicklow 22 and 20 coming in, and 22 and 20 is 22 is Amy McManus and 20 is Aoife Cullen. So 2 changes on the Wicklow side, and they will, I think, face Offaly next. As far as I know, I'm not 100% sure. I think it's Offaly, and the player coming off, I missed one of them coming off there, but the girl that's just making her way across in front of us is the number
17, and then 23 is the other one there, the girl that came off.
So Ruby Q and Megan Healy. So free here for Tyrone, and I'm sure they'll go short, but they go backwards.
Again, it's this possession game, Alan. But I suppose, as you said, there's certain times in the game that is needed, and it's important because you don't want to give the possession back to the team. And as we said, it's 5 points up, so they want to just finish the game out now in possession.
I have to say they've really held possession very well, in particular in the last 10 minutes or so, and they've run down the clock. And as you said, it's frustrating for Wicklow. They can't get their hands on the ball at all. The substitutes have made a difference for Tyrone as well. Very much we'd mentioned Niamh Hughes, but involved a lot has been Emma Conroy as well, wearing the number 20. She's had her hands on the ball a lot. Emma Jane Gervin again in possession. And Tyrone, they look like they have a squad there that could be very much in the hunt for All-Ireland series, Niamh, if they can get it right. There was plenty of patches in the first half. We saw good stuff. Maybe not so much in the second half, but this is the opening game. They've responded from that setback in the Ulster final, so they'll take a lot of positives from this.
Absolutely, and this is what they needed. They had to come back and show a bit of fight from that loss, and a bit of hurt from that loss in the Ulster Championship, and they certainly have done that today. There's been passages of really good play. I think the spread of scores has been very important to them, and really good passages of play. I just want to go back to Emma Conroy, you mentioned there, Alan. She is a fabulous young footballer. I have probably the pleasure, but maybe not the pleasure of coaching against her for Tyrone from front of 14s, 16s. She plays midfield with the minor team this year in Tyrone, and really, a real star of the future. And you mentioned her there, and that's why I just want to reiterate it. Like, she's really a star of the future, and that's what Tyrone have coming on there. There's some great young players coming in, and you need to start to, introducing them into the senior panel and bringing them in, and that's the perfect way for her to get her introduction to intermediate championship football for her.
Sarah Delahunty coming off, and a girl we haven't mentioned too often.
No, it's
she
true.
Hasn't got involved.
Yeah, she hasn't. She's been very quiet, and it was someone we'd mentioned beforehand. Her and Maria Keeley was someone that we'd be, were going to be the standout players if they got possession in, if Wicklow got possession in there. But yeah, it has been quiet, and I suppose that's a compliment to. I think maybe it was Emer Quinn that ended up picking her up, or Keith McGree that ended up picking her up. So certainly kept her quiet.
See,
scoreless.
Niamh McElduff is in as well for Tyrone. Grania Rafferty has been replaced. We've seen Barry down there up supporting Niamh. So Niamh into the Tyrone team as we're deep into additional time. 2.5 minutes gone now. The referee's whistle sounds for a free to Tyrone, who have done their work here this afternoon, although Sean O'Kane and his management team will know there's much tougher tests lying ahead for them in the championship, but they've done their job. They've went about their business. They'll take positives. They'll learn from mistakes, in particular in the first half, but they've gone about what they had to do, and they've got off to a winning start in the All-Ireland series. As the referee takes a look at the watch, I'm sure the final whistle will be going soon, and Niamh Hughes gives possession away there to Aoife Gorman, coming forward for Wicklow. And Gorman still going, lays it off here now to Maher. Maher looking for options, but Tyrone have got bodies back there. Shannon, the referee, says that's going to be a free in for Wicklow, and I think Marie Keeley may come out.
Yeah, see her
and
coming
just
there.
have a go, because there's no point even trying to work a goal at this stage, you would feel, although scoring difference may come into it down the line, but Keeley might be just happy to pop it over the bar. Or is she going to try and drop it in around the square? No, she's going to go short. They're going to try and work something. Winders coming forward here. It's a long time since she scored that wonder goal at the start, and she might finish off with another one, but she's blocked off here. And the referee says it's charging. So it's going to be a free out to Tyrone.
That just mightn't have been the best option for I think Marie Kelly should just kick that ball over the bar. I think, as you mentioned, I know they don't know how the other game went, but the score difference might come into this, and that the 4 points could have been something in it further down the line. So I think she maybe was, I don't know if she was advised in the line or whatever, or was her own decision, but I think maybe a point over the bar would have been better for them at this stage. And it totally was a free. I think Emma Jane was a bit trying to Sarah Jane was trying to sort of charge through, and that was definitely a free out.
They'll be disappointed with their second half performance, Wicklow. They didn't really cause Tyrone too many problems.
No, they didn't really. It was, as we talked about, a very God, the made a mistake there. They didn't really show what we saw at glimpses of it in the first half. Very by both teams, as we mentioned, very mistake ridden in the first 10 or 15 minutes of the second half. But yeah, they'd be disappointed at how it ended up. We did see at the start, Tyrone are, there's another score from Marie Canavan. Tyrone was the team that were expected to win here today, and if Wicklow could keep in touch and distance, and they certainly did, and you have to give them credit for that. They certainly kept within touch and distance of them. And I suppose it was really that last goal that really made the difference, and pushed it out that bit further for Tyrone. But Wicklow will be happy, and they certainly can take some positives from it.
They can. I suppose the goal just before half time as well from Emma Hegarty. Wicklow had got themselves, there were 5 points adrift, they had got themselves back to within a point, then they conceded that goal to Hegarty just before half time, and then there were 3 points down at half time, of course. But yeah, in particular when Avon McHugh got the sin bin, Wicklow didn't really make it count. They didn't make hay, I suppose, when the sun shines during that time, and indeed it was, as you said, that goal for Tyrone finished it then.
It finished it, yeah. Well, I think that happens a lot. Teams that go a player down, they end up, nearly everyone else is doing that. They do so brilliantly when it's 15v15, and then they think, well, then we've got a player, this is going to naturally, things is going to work out for us. And they didn't, and I think they ended up playing too careful, if you like. They didn't push on when they really should have pushed on. As we talked, Sarah Jane Winders did a super job back doing that sweeper role, but equally I think she should have pushed up at that stage and try and those 10 minutes put the caution into the wind and try something different, and they didn't do that. I think they'll be disappointed by that. But as I said, the last goal from who scored the last goal for Caitlin Campbell. And we talked about Niamh Hughes' influence in the game when she came on. She certainly had a big influence on the match, and she set up that goal for Caitlin Campbell.
Niamh, thank you very much. That's the TG4 Intermediate Championship up and running. In this group, Clare defeating Offaly earlier on, 117 to 112. But the game that we're watching, it's 310 to 19 in favour of Tyrone. Although the scoreboard tells me 310 to 110. But Niamh and me have it 310 to 19. So Tyrone will top the group no matter what it is. They are over and up and running and off to a winning start. Niamh, thank you very much for joining me.
Thank you, Alan.
We'll continue again next weekend. I think the Senior Championship and the Junior Championship will also throw in next weekend. So it's plenty of football for you to enjoy, to get out and watch. And if you can't, of course, LGFA will be streaming all the games live here. So thanks for joining us from Lanier on a final score. Tyrone 310, Wicklow 19.
What can happen in just 1 second? Winning goal, winning save, perfect tackle, clever flick, good call from the ref, great shout from the line. The county title, after 30 years, a long wait over, in just 1 second. It's a game of seconds. Glorious seconds. Genius in split seconds. By great players. Just 1 second. The difference between a good decision and a bad one. A lost temper, frustrated shout, that gut reaction. We've all done it. And we're never proud. But we can do better. We all can. Sideline, dressing room, meeting room, all places of passion where split-second decisions are made. Good ones, bad ones, some days not so calm ones. It's instinct, we know, because we love it. We just don't think. But we have to. Of others, of our players, of our game. Think before we act.
Take a second, catch your breath. Collect yourself, don't regret. Take a second to make the right call for ladies Gaelic football.